Chris, will we get more money if we own the .com, the .net, and the .org and put this into a package deal? The answer is going to surprise you. It may surprise you. Hey, Chris Zuiker with Media Options, help companies acquire the raw, unfiltered version of the brand and broker into the best domains of the planet. Check that out over at MediaOptions.com. Check out ChrisZuiker.com. I do a daily podcast over there. Now, this is an interesting question, okay? It's a question I get asked quite a bit, and some investors or maybe even some companies will come across as they look to engage us, and they'll say, hey, we own the .com, the .net, and the .org, or pick your extension, okay? But they own multiple domains for that same keyword. So in this case, it'd be like, hey, we own quilt.com, quilt.io, quilt.net, quilt.ai, global. I don't know. Pick your domain extension. And they're saying, hey, we want to package this into a deal. And, by the way, we kind of want to get retail for all of these domain names. What do you think? Now, here's the thing, okay? On the surface of this, the answer is no, you're not going to get more money. Now, it's fundamental to how an end user is thinking. Now, there's also a reason from a domain investor standpoint. I think that is another way to look at this. I got this idea from watching Domain Sherpa with Drew this last week. So let's tackle the first thought. The first thought is this, is that will you get more money? Now, if you think of the natural progression of a company, okay, most of the sales that we do in the 6-figure to 7-figure range, they're for brands that are upgrading their name. And I mean, usually they're on the .co, they're on the .io, they're on the .ai, or they've added like a descriptor to their name, and they are looking at that point. They realize the 7 dimensions to the domain name. Okay, that's global positioning, industry positioning, branding, marketing, SEO, email security, and the ability to scale and to expand beyond maybe a very defined product line that they launched with. Get an example there, Zen Payroll. They want to do more payroll, so they rebranded to Gusto. And so they're looking to upgrade that. Now, when they're going to upgrade that, they're going to use one domain name. Okay, they're going to use one domain name. So domain name strategies. If you think about this, I've done a video on this before. Your domain name strategies are going to be, you're going to buy a domain for your brand. You're going to buy it for your sub brand. You're going to buy it for your marketing, and you're going to buy it for defensive. Okay, it's pretty much those 4 different strategies. Now you can kind of get back into sub strategies and SEO and kind of the greater ecosystem, but I would say that maybe it falls into a sub-brand or to marketing. So from a brand's perspective, they look at this as saying, well, hey, like we only want the one, and the one we want is the .com. If we're going to upgrade to the best one that we possibly can, and that's the .com. The other extensions by default become kind of like nice to haves. And so what I've found in my experience is that it's hard enough to get a company to see the true value and the true return on investment just in the .com domain, let alone they're not going to say, hey, we want to pay retail for all these other extensions. Now, that being said, one of the things I tell most great brands is that, listen, like you need to own all your extensions. Okay, you definitely need to own all your extensions, because by default, what that means is that you are owning the leadership position and the global position for your brand. Like you're keeping other companies out that potentially can add more noise and more confusion for your brand. Now, if you own the .com, obviously you own the best position possible. But I mean, there's a strategic case to say, like, go after and own as many of the top extensions as you possibly can. That may be maybe 5 to 6 of the top extensions, or maybe something that listen, it works within your industry. Okay, whether it's insurance, whether it's loans, whether it's banks. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's like over 2,000 or something crazy extensions that are out there. Okay, so yes, they need to own it, but will they pay more during the initial negotiation? And my experience is that no, they won't. They won't do it because they, by default, they're only looking at that one domain name to move their brand, to launch their brand, and to take their brand to the next level. And so what happens in most of these negotiations is that those other domains, they just kind of become something that gets thrown in. And it doesn't necessarily ever elevate the price to a new level. In other words, they're not paying retail for those domain names. Okay, it may get a higher price, which is maybe higher within that range with what your domain name is worth in the value of your domain name, but it's not going to get you it's not going to bring you to this like substantially new level. So as a good general thumb, the .net's maybe worth 10%. You could say the .io, the .ai is worth maybe, somewhat kind of similar in there. And then you kind of go down the line to the other extensions. Now, It's interesting. There was Drew was on Domain Sherpa this last week, and he said something that really triggered me to do this video. He said, when he owns a great .com, he doesn't necessarily want to own the .co, the .ai, because what happens is that that gives other brands an opportunity to. He doesn't want to sell them as a package. Okay, I mean, if he owned them, I'm sure he'd sell them individually, but he doesn't want to own them as a package, because what that does, that gives these other brands an opportunity to launch. Okay, to get their brand equity, to get their momentum behind them, and to get to become profitable. And then from there, as they kind of scale up, they realize, wow, okay, we really need our brand, okay, because they understand the global positioning. I share the story of Kraken.com a lot in my videos, and how if you look up Kraken, I'm not even going to share it again. Okay, go back and watch my other video. Watch one of my other videos. It's a double-edged sword, okay? It's a double-edged sword in the sense that as a brand, you want as many as you can get, but most of them are not going to pay for it. So I'm going to end this video here. It's a short video today, like less than 10 minutes. But I think you can take some key takeaways here if you're a domain investor and you're thinking about selling a portfolio of your domains, and you only want to sell them in a package deal. You may want to rethink that. You may want to rethink and give the opportunity, maybe sell them off individually, and give the opportunity for some starter brands to get out there and get started. And but if you are an owner and you're an end user company, listen, pick up as many as them as you can as you grow, because you're gonna own more the message, more the positioning, and by default, there's gonna be less noise in the marketplace. So it's gonna create more of an effortless path for your brand. Okay. Going over to chriszuiker.com/survey if you're looking to like what strategies I would employ for different company size. There's 5 questions it's going to ask you, and it's going to bring you down to 3 different videos, like 10 minutes to 20 minutes, where I go over exactly what I would do in your situation. No email required. Go check that out, and share this up if you found any value in it. You just got done listening to another episode of .com Strategies. Check us out online at chriszuiker.com and at mediaoptions.com.